We've got no time for an intro because this video is jam-packed. Every single winner of BGT, along with interesting facts, controversies, and I will share my favourite of the bunch. Let's take a walk down memory lane. That's what's hot. Series 1, 2007. Paul Potts. The first ever winner of Britain's Got Talent auditioned in the very first episode. Opera singer Paul Potts blew the judges away, the audience away, and the country away, en route to taking the crown as the inaugural champion. As a result, he, like all BGT winners, got the opportunity to perform at the Royal Variety Performance, which is an annual variety show where the best and brightest of the UK and beyond perform for a rapt audience in the Royal Albert Hall, one of the most beautiful and prestigious venues in the country, including, as the name suggests, a royal. It's been running since 1912 and it's a big deal, so the fact that the winners get to perform on there is huge. After the show, Potts found success in the classical music world, releasing 2 top 10 albums. His fame has waned in recent years, but he was still big enough to get a biopic made about his rise to fame in 2013, where he was played by, James Corden. Well, you can't win them all. Series 2, George Sampson. George Sampson auditioned for Series 1 of BGT and did very well.
He's really good.
He got 3 yeses from the judges but wasn't taken through to the semi-finals, an experience which motivated the young dancer. He vowed to come back for Series 2 bigger and better than ever, and he did.
We met you last year, didn't we?
Yeah.
You're taller.
I know.
It's only Series 2 and we've already got a returning hero, a continuing narrative. I bet the producers were loving it.
It's everybody that get hot in this party. Don't stop, move your body. Rock.
George danced his way into British hearts with his moves and persistence. In the final, he danced to a remix of Singing in the Rain by Gene Kelly. In the Rain. It was very cool. Did you see that? That kind of handstand kick thing while the rain pours down? Did it seem familiar? Mighty young Tom Holland have been taking notes for his future iconic Umbrella performance on Celebrity Lip Sync. George inspired Spider-Man. There's no greater claim to fame than that. After the show, George continued to dance, working in musicals and on TV, also becoming a patron of a dance event that raises money for Hope and Homes for Children. George also diversified his career into acting, appearing on stage and TV in a number of productions. He's a talented guy, and at only 30 years old, he's got a long career ahead of him. Series 3, Diversity. For those of you waiting to hear about Susan Boyle, you won't. And you won't because of Diversity. This dance group beat Susan in the final even though she was their heavy favourite.
Diversity!
And how did they possibly beat her? Well, by being very good at the dancing. I'm going to make a bold statement now that I've done no research on to back up. Luckily, we're on the internet where this kind of thing is a daily occurrence. Diversity and their founder and leader, Ashleigh, created the dance group vibe. Lots of people, heavily edited music, so it's basically just a very quick mixtape of the best bits from multiple songs. Sprinkling of comedy, occasional dialogue from films and TV that someone mimes to, throwing around their smallest member. Watch any season of any Got Talent and you'll see a dance group doing this exact act. If Diversity didn't invent it, they certainly brought it to a bigger platform and codified it for talent shows moving forward. Since the show, Diversity have gone from strength to strength. 7 national dance tours, heavily involved with dance-specific talent shows like Got to Dance and Ashleigh Secret Street Crew, and getting involved with national campaigns to help people exercise more. They've even created a new group, DVJ or Diversity Junior, to ensure that the
Power of diversity will never die.
DVJ even competed in Series 12 of BGT. Series 4, Spelbound. Spelbound are a gymnastics group that was formed specifically for Britain's Got Talent when an ITV casting agent visited a gym in Spelthorne, Surrey, just west of London, and asked whether they'd be interested in forming a team to audition. They did so, creating a group out of some very talented young performers, and when they got to audition, they blew the judges away. The group made it all the way to the final and continued their dominance. I mean, look at them. Since the show, the group have all gone on to wonderful things. Several of them competed in the World Gymnastics Championships, winning medals, and several more performed in the closing ceremony of the London 2012 Olympic Games. Once-in-a-lifetime stuff. A career in gymnastics is not often a very long one, and though the language on their Wikipedia page is present tense, I think they've all aged out and we won't see Spelbound again. As a wise man once said, the flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long. Series 5, Jai McDowall. This one contains a little bit of tea, which is only appropriate as we're dealing with the Brits here. Jai McDowall is a singer from Scotland who appeared on Series 5 of Britain's Got Talent, auditioning with a voice so powerful it could destroy a small town. My goodness! Jai made it through to the final, where the addition of some lovely strings meant he was all but assured of romping home with the victory.
I wish upon tonight to see you smile.
After the show, however, he was largely abandoned. Without much advertising power behind it, his debut album, Believe, only reached number 54 on the album chart, and he was released from his contract with Sony the year after. He has not released an album since. It was only when Jai came back to perform on Britain's Got Talent The Champions 6 years later that the truth of the situation really came out, from Simon Cowell himself.
And I owe you an apology for not giving you the support I should have given you at the time.
How's about that? Simon Cowell admitting fault.
But I also respect the fact that you've come back to make me look like an idiot, and you've looked fantastic.
Jai has continued to sporadically release singles since BGT, and hopefully he finds the success that his voice definitely deserves. Series 6, Ashleigh and Pudsey. Here we go, here's the good stuff. As a proud father of two wonderful dogs myself, Baxter and Charlie, they're perfect boys and I love them. This is one of my favourites. Pudsey the dog and his owner slash trainer slash feeder, Ashleigh Butler. Now, I just did a big section on these guys on my previous video of BGT acts who have since passed away, which I suppose is a spoiler, but Pudsey is a dog and they competed in Series 6, which was 11 years ago, so... But suffice it to say, Ashleigh and Pudsey were one of the most successful and beloved acts to win BGT, and it's not hard to see why. After the show, it was your typical dog career, hosting dog dancing competitions, performing in pantomimes, starring in films, writing an autobiography, all pretty standard stuff. Pudsey passed away in 2017 at the ripe old age of 11, having lived a full and rich life of treats and dancing, which is something we can all aspire toward. Since then, Ashleigh has resumed her dancing with a new dog, Sully, who is filling Pudsey's shoes admirably.
Never tire, never buzzing to and fro, because they take a little...
Series 7, Attraction. Series 7 saw the shadow dancing group Attraction take the title. Right from the beginning, they demonstrated a deadly combination of interesting technical achievement and very emotive storytelling. The Hungarian group have performed around the world in the years since BGT, and even went the diversity route by creating, or should that be birthing, a younger version of themselves, Attraction Juniors, who competed in 2022. I regret my use of the word birthing there, what an awful visual.
That's grey and lonely. I just stick...
But the youngsters still have a lot to learn if they want to triumph over the original Attraction, who stand as the first ever winners of BGT that didn't originate from the UK. I don't know, foreigners coming in, stealing our jobs, winning our talent shows. Series 8, Collabro. It's a simple gimmick. They look like a boy band, but they sing like a man band? Collabro shocked the judges with their audition for Series 8.
How long have you guys been a group?
We've been together for about a month now.
A month? Oh, not long.
Oh God, look at them. I know they're judges, but do they have to be so judgy? Stop averting your eyes, Amanda. It's not like you're Whitney Houston, love.
Returns and returns, and it's always the same.
It's lovely to see a group of lads who love looking at each other as much as these guys do. Oh, it warms your heart.
Grace, God be my witness.
They marched through to the final and gave an outstanding performance to clinch the title. Since the show, they've released 7 albums, 4 of which went into the top 20, and toured the UK many times over. Unfortunately, they disbanded in 2022, I'm sure to all pursue the solo fame on the stage that they're all capable of achieving. But they'll have to work hard to eclipse their BGT run. Series 9. Jules, O'Dwyer and Matisse. It's another dog act! More dogs! I'm happy.
Hello.
Hello.
Jules, O'Dwyer and Matisse took the Pudsey formula of great tricks and made it their own by adding a little bit of storytelling and, importantly, a little bit of comedy. In the audition, they were a dog catcher and target. Jules not afraid to play the bad guy there, and credit to her. In the classic British tradition of pantomime, audiences love having someone to boo. Boo! In the semi-final, Jules was a toy maker and Matisse her toy. And in the final, they returned to pretty much the same roles as the audition, but with fancier costumes, a police officer and criminal. Also, this performance includes Jules' other dogs, Chase and Skippy, which actually led to some controversy. Incredible to see a dog go across a tightrope, but some fans were outraged when it was later revealed that the dog that did that wasn't Matisse and was in fact Chase. How dare they? They lied! Stripped them of their championship! Except, of course, no. As much as I hate to admit this, dog acts are much less about the dogs and much more about the trainers and choreographers. Some dogs will pick things up better than others, of course, but ultimately, this is Jules' show, not Matisse. And so whichever dog is going across a tightrope, it's a dog going across a tightrope. Just applaud, you losers. Since the show, they moved to Belgium. That's all I could find, sorry. Series 10, Richard Jones. Lovely young man Richard Jones auditioned for Series 10 with an electrifying performance.
Look me directly in the eye and just touch me just on the forehead there.
How did he do that? Card tricks and stuff, I'm aware that there's always little sleights of hand that I'm never going to see or understand. But I get that's what's going on. But to give someone an electric charge through your forehead, that's something special. He did other tricks as well, though.
Just what you ordered.
No way.
Now, excellent tricks will get you a long way, but in order to really increase your chances at winning in a talent show, it doesn't hurt to tug on the old heartstrings as well. Now, Richard was and is a member of the armed forces, being employed by the army, and while the military isn't as revered in the UK as much as America, it's still a smart move.
Tonight, I'm going to be performing classic magic.
It also doesn't hurt, of course, that he wears the hell out of that dress uniform. Look at him, hot stuff. But Richard also told a long story about an old soldier who he knew, who had taught him the trick he was performing.
Restore hope among his comrades.
And what does he do for a grand finale?
Mr. Fergus and
He brings the old boy out. Amazing. People didn't have a choice but to vote him the winner. Since the show, Richard has continued in the armed forces but still performs magic regularly. Series 11, Tokio Myers. A piano is essentially 88 buttons. That's too many buttons for me. But for Tokio Myers, winner of 2017 Series 11, 88 keys wasn't quite enough. So he added in a few more. He's doing the piano to appeal to the older crowd and the electronic beats for the younger crowd. He's covering all bases. He's a one-man orchestra and he's winning everyone over. Of course he's going to win the whole thing. Since the show, Tokio has released his debut album and several singles. He's also been involved in producing music, which is the smartest thing he could do, because as Jay-Z will tell you, producing is easier, longer lasting, and makes you a lot more money. Good luck to him. Season 12, Lost Voice Guy. For the second year in a row, Britain's Got Talent was won by someone not using their voice. Tokio Myers was an instrumentalist, that makes sense. But this year's winner, Lee Ridley, aka the Lost Voice Guy, is a stand-up comedian.
I'm a struggling stand-up comedian who also struggles to stand up.
Lee has a form of cerebral palsy brought on by a brain infection when he was just 6 months old. It meant that he never developed the ability to speak. But during a successful career as a journalist, Lee began stand-up at the age of 32, and 6 years later found himself on the BGT stage.
When I realized I'd never be able to talk again, I was speechless.
Lee became a double champion that year, not only winning Britain's Got Talent, but also the Talent Recap Fan Choice Award for Favourite Talent Show Winner. Equally prestigious. Since the show, Lost Voice Guy has continued to tour, releasing an autobiography entitled I'm Only In It For The Parking, which is a lovely title, and is working with a technology company to ensure that people who have to use the kind of voice synthesizer technology that he uses are able to use the accent that they would have, which is pretty cool. Now, I know this is about Britain's Got Talent, but this is such a long video with so many people to cover, I feel like we need to borrow from America's favourite pastime, baseball, and have a 7th inning stretch, okay? So jump up and down, get the blood moving a little bit, roll those shoulders, Give me a lemon face, lion face, lemon face, lion face, Okay, let's keep going. Series 13. Colin Thackery. Much like Richard Jones, Colin Thackery is a military man and wears his uniform proudly on stage. Unlike Richard, he's a singer, and he was 88 when he auditioned. Wait, 88?
Did you ever know that you're my hero?
So we've got a great singer, and of equal importance, as we all know, we've got a great story.
Joan died in December 2016, and she died in my arms.
He was married for 66 years until his wife died in his arms. I mean, come on, what are you trying to do to us, Cole?
Beneath my way.
Little point of order, Colin is identified in his little graphic as a Chelsea pensioner. But what is a Chelsea pensioner? Well, the Royal Hospital in Chelsea, London is a retirement and nursing home for 300 ex-soldiers, known as Chelsea pensioners. These men and women give up their military pension to be taken care of in the institution, which was founded in 1682 by King Charles II. When they're within the hospital and surrounding areas, they wear a blue uniform, and when they travel further afield, they wear the distinct red coats that Colin wore during his BGT run. So there we go, the Chelsea pensioners. A little bit of extra knowledge for you there. Since the show, Colin released an album and performed in 2022 for Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee. Incredible honour. Series 14, Jon Courtenay. 2020 was, let's not forget, a tricky year. COVID-19 and the worldwide lockdowns meant that people were in a weird place, as was TV. Gone were the audiences, replaced by weird empty rooms of TV with digitised faces, and so the acts that thrived in this environment reflected the times. America's Got Talent had Brandon Leake, and Britain's Got Talent had Jon Courtenay.
The dream he dreamed like Susan Boyle.
A man sitting in front of a piano singing sweet and heartfelt and funny bespoke songs.
And even though you'll be a wreck, at least you'll meet Anton Dale.
Bespoke is the key. These weren't songs in his repertoire. They were written for the show, specific to the times and situations we and Jon found ourselves in. It was exactly what the country needed.
I was outside Tesco 2 meters apart. Hand sanitizer, gloves and a mask.
If you're interested in a fun fact, and you've watched the video for this long, so I'm confident that you are, Jon Courtenay was Anton Deck's Golden Buzzer, and he is the first Got Talent host Golden Buzzer to win the whole thing. Not just in BGT, not just in AGT, but in any Got Talent show around the world. I think. It does get difficult because there's loads of shows and loads of them in a different language, but I believe he is the only one. Let me know if I'm wrong. Series 15, Axel Blake. Now, we had Lost Voice Guy before, and now we've got Axel Blake, and if I might editorialise, one of the reasons BGT is better than AGT, and don't you dare accuse me of being biased, one of the reasons BGT is better than AGT is their willingness to actually reward comedians. Don't tell Darcy Lynn, but I'm still Team Preacher Lawson.
I lost to a 12-year-old ventriloquist.
Axel Blake is funny, and that is a talent. Why shouldn't they win?
I asked you what time you're coming home, and you said to me, I don't know when I'm coming home.
I also like that he makes it very easy to work out which performance of his you're watching. Audition, blue, semi-final, yellow, final, red. He's doing his bit for the video editors of the world.
Right past me, you need a hand, mate. No, Toby, I need a car.
Since winning, he started a podcast with his son, he's put out a comedy special on YouTube, had a nationwide comedy tour, and continues to perform up and down the country. And he's doing it all
in style.
Series 16, Viggo Venn, or as he's now known, the patron saint of high-vis vests. I mean, it's a fitting final entry for this video because in a very joyous, very free, very liberated way, it seems like he's losing his mind on stage. And at this point in the video, I can sympathize. But seriously, I love Viggo. He reminds me a little bit of Tapeface from AGT because they both really defy categorization. What is a comedian? What does a comedian do? They don't have to tell jokes, they don't have to do impressions or say anything or formalize a structure to their performance at all. They just have to make you laugh. And
I picked it myself.
he won the show so recently, he hasn't even had the chance to perform at the Royal Variety Performance yet, as of recording. But probably by the time this goes out, he will have done. So, future Dan, cut in a bit of his performance here. God, that feels weird. And there we go. That was every winner of Britain's Got Talent in one video, which leaves but one question. Who is your favourite? I think for me, it has to be Pudsey, truly the gold standard for dog dancers that performers are judged against even today. But let me know in the comments who you would pick and we can have a good old debate about it. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, follow Talent Recap on all social media, and visit our sexy website, talentrecap.com, for all your talent show news and gossip. If you want to follow me, or at very least my good friend Not Me on socials, he's on TikTok and Instagram at I am not me, I am art. I'm Daniel Swan. I thank you very much for watching, and now you know what's hot. I'm having a lie down.